You've packaged your model into a single file, but a file just sits on a disk. How does a website, or a phone app, actually get a prediction from it? The answer is a prediction API, a small service that wraps the model so anything can call it. Here's the problem. Your model lives in a file, in your Python project, but the website, the mobile app, and other services can't just reach in and use it. They don't run your Python. They speak a common language of the web, HTTP. We need to meet them there. So we define a contract. The client sends a request as JSON, the applicant's details. The service sends back a response as JSON, a probability, a decision, and which model answered. That's the whole idea of an API, an agreed shape going in, and an agreed shape coming out, over HTTP. Building it takes surprisingly little code. Here, with a framework called FastAPI, we load the packaged model once, and define a single endpoint, /v1/predict. When a request comes in, we score it and return the probability and the decision. That's the engine of the whole service. Let's follow one real request through it. The website sends us an applicant, income 88,000, a debt ratio of 0.55, 12 years of credit history, 3 late payments. This is the same applicant we met back in the interpretability lesson. Now let's serve them. The very first thing we do, before the model runs, is validate. Never trust input from the outside world. Income must be a number, and not negative. The debt ratio has to sit between 0 and 1. Credit history, a number. Late payments, a whole number, 0 or more. Only if every check passes do we continue. Why bother? Because requests will arrive broken. Look at this one. Income sent as the words 88 instead of a number, and late payments missing entirely. Validation catches both, and the request is turned away with a clear error, 422, unprocessable. It never reaches the model. A garbage input can't become a garbage prediction. Once the input is clean, we pre-process it, using the exact same scalar that was bundled into the artifact. Income of 88,000 becomes about plus 1.9, standardized. Because the scalar travels with the model, the server transforms the data exactly the way training did, no silent mismatch. Now the model scores the prepared applicant, live. 36% probability of approval, below our threshold, so the decision is deny. Exactly the answer the model produces in a notebook, now produced inside the service. Finally, we wrap that answer in the response and send it back to the website. Notice what we return: the probability, the decision, and the model version that produced it. That version tag will matter enormously once we start monitoring and retraining. One more idea, and it's easy to overlook. That contract is a promise. Real clients are built against the exact response shape. Adding a new optional field is safe, but renaming or removing one breaks every client at once. So when you must make a breaking change, you don't edit the old endpoint, you ship a new version, at /v2/predict. So here's the checklist for a solid prediction API. 1. Clear endpoint, JSON in and out. Validate every input before the model runs. Reuse the packaged pre-processing. Return the probability, the decision, and the model version. And keep the contract stable and versioned. To recap, an API turns a model file into a service that anything can call. Validation guards the model from bad input. The server must pre-process exactly the way training did. And you version the contract that clients depend on. Your model is now live and callable. But a model in production doesn't stay accurate forever. The world changes underneath it. Next, we'll learn to watch for that. Data and model drift.